The biggest kaiju ever? Godzilla's size explained. Hey everyone, ever wondered just how big the king of the monsters really is? For decades, Godzilla has been stomping his way through cities, towering over skyscrapers, and capturing our imaginations. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, just how huge is Godzilla? And, more importantly, is he actually the biggest kaiju out there? Grab your popcorn and get comfy, because today we're diving deep into Godzilla's colossal dimensions and stacking him up against some of the biggest giants in the monster universe. Let's get to it. First things first, let's rewind the clock back to 1954. Godzilla was brought to life by Toho Studios in Japan, emerging from the depths as a metaphor for the devastating effects of nuclear weapons, a topic all too real for post-World War II Japan. The original Godzilla wasn't just a monster, he was a walking, roaring symbol of destruction and the anxieties of a nation. So, how big was the Og Godzilla? In his first appearance, he stood at a towering 50 meters, or about 164 feet. Now, that might not seem gigantic compared to today's skyscrapers, but back then, that was enough to dwarf most buildings in Tokyo. Just imagine looking up and seeing that looming over you. Talk about intimidating. Now, here's where things get interesting. Godzilla hasn't always stayed the same size. Much like those jeans you thought still fit from high school, he's gone through some growth spurts. During the Showa era, which spanned from 1954 to 1975, Godzilla consistently stood at that original 50 meters. He was massive enough to wreak havoc but still had that Suidomation charm. Yes, that's a guy in a suit stomping on miniatures. It fit perfectly with Tokyo's skyline back then. Jump to the Heisei era, and things start scaling up. In The Return of Godzilla, 1984, our favorite monster grew to 80 meters, 262 feet. But why stop there? In subsequent films, he beefed up to a whopping 100 meters, 328 feet. It wasn't just for kicks, the increase reflected advancements in special effects and the ever-growing cityscapes. Then came the Millennium Era, where Godzilla's height fluctuated between 55 to 60 meters. This era was all about reimagining and redefining Godzilla, so the filmmakers played around with his size to fit different artistic visions. Variety is the spice of life, after all. Hold onto your seats, because the Reiwa era and Legendary Pictures took Godzilla's size to a whole new level. In Shin Godzilla, 2016, he reached an unprecedented 118.5 meters, 389 feet. And then there's Legendary's Monsterverse. In the 2014 film, Godzilla stood at 108 meters, 354 feet, but by 2019's Godzilla, King of the Monsters, he bulked up to 119.8 meters, 393 feet. Picture this. A timeline showcasing Godzilla's growth spurts over the years, side by side with famous skyscrapers like the Empire State Building and Tokyo Tower. Really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? So, why all the changes? What's behind Godzilla's varying sizes over the decades? One big factor is technology. With the leaps and bounds in filmmaking techniques and CGI, directors could finally showcase Godzilla on a grander scale. Audiences wanted bigger, better, and more spectacular visuals, and who better to deliver than Godzilla himself? Godzilla's size has always been a reflection of societal fears and themes. In the 50s, he symbolized nuclear devastation. As time went on, he began representing other fears like environmental disasters and our own human hubris. The bigger the threat, the bigger the monster. Let's not forget competition. With Hollywood pumping out massive blockbusters and other monster movies, there was a bit of anything you can do, I can do bigger, going on. To stand out, Godzilla had to, quite literally, outgrow the competition. Alright, we've talked about Godzilla's size, but how does he stack up against other kaiju in his own backyard? First up, King Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon and Godzilla's arch-nemesis. Depending on the movie, Ghidorah's height ranges from 100 meters, 328 feet, to a colossal 158.8 meters, 521 feet, in the Monsterverse. That's a lot of dragon to handle. Then there's Mothra, the giant moth goddess. While she might not be the tallest, her wingspan is truly impressive, up to 250 meters, 820 feet. She's played both friend and foe to Godzilla, but no matter what side she's on, she's always a sight to behold. Don't forget Rodan, our fiery flying menace with a wingspan of 120 meters, 393 feet. With the power of supersonic flight and volcanic origins, Rodan adds some aerial flair to the kaiju mix. Imagine lining them all up: Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. Seeing their sizes side by side really highlights the diversity and scale of the monsters in Godzilla's universe. But wait, there's more. The monster world doesn't stop with Godzilla's squad. Let's check out some giants from other franchises. Meet Gamera, the giant turtle kaiju. Standing around 80 meters, 262 feet, Gamera might be a bit shorter than some versions of Godzilla, but he's got that nifty ability to fly by spinning like a UFO. Talk about turtle power. Jumping over to Pacific Rim, we've got some serious contenders. The Category 5 kaiju, like Slattern, reach heights of about 181 meters, 593 feet. And remember the Mega Kaiju? It's a fusion of multiple kaiju, making it an absolute behemoth. Then there's the mysterious Cloverfield monster. It's estimated to be around 90 meters, 295 feet, tall. While it's not the tallest, the sheer mystery and chaos it brings adds to its monstrous presence. For all you anime fans out there, let's not forget the colossal Titan from Attack on Titan, standing at 60 meters, 197 feet. And the Evangelion units? They tower over cities, blending the lines between mechs and monsters. A montage of these monstrous beings with their sizes popping up on screen really showcases the vast array of giants across different universes. So, who takes the crown for the biggest kaiju? Is it Godzilla, or does someone else loom even larger? Enter Godzilla Earth from the anime trilogy. Brace yourselves. This version stands at a staggering 300 meters, 984 feet. That's nearly the height of the Eiffel Tower. Not to be outdone, the anime version of King Ghidorah is presented as a multidimensional being of immense, almost incomprehensible size. He doesn't just exist in our dimension, he's cosmic. And if we're expanding our scope, there's Unicron from Transformers lore, a planet-sized being. Yes, you heard that right, planet-sized. And Galactus from Marvel Comics, a cosmic entity whose size can vary but is often depicted as enormous beyond comprehension. But here's the kicker. Are these beings truly kaiju? The term, kaiju, literally means strange beast in Japanese and is typically associated with giant monsters from Japanese cinema. So, while Unicron and Galactus are massive, they might be in a league of their own. Alright, time to put on our nerd glasses and get a bit scientific. How plausible are these gigantic creatures? Ever heard of the square-cube law? In simple terms, as a shape grows in size, its volume grows faster than its surface area. This means if you double the size of a creature, its weight increases eightfold. Think about bone strength, muscle mass, and even heart function. Could a creature that big even stand up without collapsing under its own weight? Not to mention the environmental impact. A creature that size walking around would cause earthquakes with each step. The Earth's crust might not even support such weight without collapsing. But hey, we're here for a good time, not a scientifically accurate time. After all, these are movies meant to entertain, inspire awe, and sometimes give us a good scare. Science aside, Godzilla's size isn't just about being big. It's about making a big impact. Godzilla has smashed through the boundaries of Japanese cinema to become a global icon. His massive stature symbolizes more than just physical size, it represents the colossal challenges and fears that societies face. From toys to video games, Godzilla's massive presence is felt everywhere. Kids, and let's be honest, adults too, have action figures that capture his mighty form, and video games let us step into those giant shoes, or claws. So what's next for the king of the monsters? With studios continuously pushing creative boundaries, who knows, maybe we'll see an even bigger Godzilla in the future. So, let's wrap this monster-sized discussion up. We've journeyed through Godzilla's origin, tracked his growth spurts over the years, compared him to his kaiju buddies, and even brought science into the mix. Is Godzilla the biggest kaiju ever? Well, yes and no. While he's certainly one of the largest and most iconic, others like Godzilla Earth and certain interpretations of King Ghidorah surpass him in size. But remember, size isn't everything. At the end of the day, Godzilla's true power lies not just in his physical stature but in his cultural impact and the way he captures our imaginations. Whether he's 50 meters or 300, he's earned his title as the king of the monsters. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Will Godzilla continue to grow in future films? Who's your favorite giant monster? Maybe your Team Ghidorah, or perhaps another kaiju has captured your heart. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a monster-sized discussion going. And hey, if there's a topic you'd love us to tackle next, like maybe the craziest kaiju abilities, let us know. Thanks for joining me on this colossal adventure through the world of kaiju. It's been a blast sharing these insights with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more monster-sized content coming your way. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore the hidden abilities of Godzilla you never knew about. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.